who spoke anonymously, said largely ceremonious in his words. Nothing took place at the meeting. We listened to the charge by the Speaker during the inauguration, and we are prepared to hit the ground running. The meeting was for members to familiarize with one another. The Speaker of the House of Reps, Tajuddin Abbas, has reminded the Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Abbas, that by the provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended, he must report to the National Assembly in running the affairs of the state. Okay? So it's a dysfunctional setup, which is an emergency rule. Naturally, we may have to be satisfied with dysfunction. Well, the update to that is that the House of Reps Ad Hoc Committee overseeing the emergency rule has invited the sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Abbas, and is expected to appear before the committee tomorrow by 4 p.m. Spokesman of the House, Akin Rotimi, who made this known in a statement, said, following his constitutional mandate to exercise full legislative oversight in accordance with the Constitution, the committee resolved, among other matters, to invite Abbas to appear before it for a comprehensive, interactive session. Also, Chairman of the committee and House Leader Julius Ihowere said the engagement is necessary to ascertain the true state of affairs in Rivers State and ensure that the House remains properly guided in the discharge of its oversight responsibilities in the public interest. And then, the administrator called on the National Assembly to continue supporting his administration's effort. Say, we need support. I can't do this alone. There's a Christian song, I have no strength of my own. How do the lyrics go? Anyways, it's a song asking God to come and help you because you can't do it. So that's what comes to mind at this time. The song keeps ringing in my head. I just can't make out the lyrics. If somebody knows it, please send it to WhatsApp. Hopefully, it will come. So he says the Assembly should support his administration. Support the effort to reposition the state on the path of peace, progress, and prosperity. My goodness, the poetry here. Retired Vice Admiral Abbas said this when members of the House of Reps Committee on Public Assets visited him at the government house today. The administrator said the visit of lawmakers has rekindled hope that together we can work to overcome the challenges. My goodness. That's inspirational. I've never had interest in politics, but maybe now I might have to, because I would love to give these kinds of speeches, right? Just standing in front of thousands of people. We want Sam. It's like, yeah, my people. We must work together to ensure that we have peace. And then somebody says, but we already have peace. They say, we need more peace. Peace is not enough. Peace upon another peace. Peace for you, peace for your children. People will shout, yeah. That's it. The man of peace. Okay, let's come back, Sam. That's enough. Now, the first problem we had here was that the legislators, the members of the ad hoc committee, said they don't know what the work is yet. Right? So I might be jumping the gun here. Maybe I'm moving faster than my shadow. But you see, being in this emergency rule, I have learned to treat everything urgently. Everything is an emergency. So Sam, relax. They will soon tell them what to do. They will soon give them a mandate. Is it too hasty of me to have expected that maybe the National Assembly has a clear framework before the public inauguration? Because the emergency rule was declared 3 or 4 weeks ago. Is it up to 4 weeks? I think it was on the 18th of last month. Okay, we're really close to a month. Right? Immediately at the declaration of the state of emergency, the president suspended governor, deputy governor, House of Assembly members. So that means an administrator was appointed. The framework, you report to the National Executive. Where was he supposed to report before the National Assembly? I think the National Executive Council or so. Again, it will come to me. I apologize for my brain not working well today. And then the House of Assembly said, no, it's not. You're not reporting to them. You're reporting to us. We say, okay, no problem. Whatever the case is. Now it has taken 3 weeks and an ad hoc committee made up of 21 members from the House of Reps have been appointed and inaugurated. I think personally, and this is me, It is an aberration, a crime for somebody on that panel to say, yes, we've been appointed, but they've not really told us what to do. Tomorrow, the administrator will be in Abuja if he intends to honor that invitation, which seems very likely. And by 4 p.m., according to this report, they will sit and talk. Now, these are my issues. That engagement is supposed to establish some ground rules. Some things we will know, some things we will not hear. But the part of this that bothers me is that they want to know from him how things are going. They want to ascertain the true state of affairs in Rivers State, which means whatever the administrator tells them, that's what they will go by. And when he has to do something, they will have to approve. Because it's an emergency rule, maybe we can be okay with this. But is having our elected officials back working not a better strategy? Because what it means now is that the legislative arm of government for Rivers State is in Abuja, not Port Harcourt. A 21-man panel, an ad hoc committee made up of 21 people. We have about 20-something lawmakers here in the state, so similarity in numbers. What if the resolution is reached? What if those that people elected, members of House of Assembly, governor, somehow by some peacemaking resolution, whatever, they come back and the people who represent Rivers people are right here in the state with them? Because I don't want this to become the norm, where every 2 market days, the sole administrator has to now go to Abuja and say, this is the report for the week. There's heavy traffic in Choba Junction. I say, no, not that kind of report. So I say, okay, well, the security situation, no, I'm starting from beginning, sir. It's not smooth running. Even if they put surveillance here, CCTV cameras, and they're able to watch Rivers State from Abuja, I think that a better working system would be that the elected officials are reinstated and Rivers people can get their representation locally in Rivers State. Nobody has to travel anywhere to go and give update. But that's just me. I don't always know too much. So my question for this conversation is, with this ad hoc committee, because it seems you're here to stay, what are your expectations of the committee? What you and I expect of them? Yes, the administrator is answerable to the president, and he is accountable to the National Assembly to some degree. What are your expectations of the ad hoc committee? And the second, I just had to add this because this is how I felt. Do you think the Assembly should have had a clear framework before the inauguration? Because when governors are about to be sworn in, they know the job they are supposed to do. If anybody is going to be a manager, a CEO, an MD, you know the job before you take on the role. But to be inaugurated and you're waiting for official briefing, say, do we go left or do we go right? Am I thinking too much? Or should there have been a framework before inauguration? I'll call the phone line shortly, but hey, guess what happens between now and then? Important messages. Stay with us. Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. It's time to take some calls, and the questions are: what are your expectations of the ad hoc committee? They have been inaugurated, they've been set up, they've invited the sole administrator to be in Abuja tomorrow for an engagement, and I'm hoping that by tomorrow there will be a mandate. We should know the clear-cut job they are supposed to pull off. But between now and then, we can talk about the agenda. Do you have expectations of them? What are those expectations? And do you think the assembly should have had a clear framework before inauguration? Or maybe, like I said, I'm just doing too much. Maybe it's already there, they've just not briefed them yet. 08179230002, 08179230003. WhatsApp is 08090306416. I have no power of my own, I confess to you, Holy Spirit. Yes, that's the song I was trying to remember. This is from Pastor Smart. Thank you, Pastor Smart. You know what? Drop your church location. You will see me this Sunday. I'm going to worship in truth and spirit in your congregation. It's very important. Thank you for that reminder. Oh, well, lots of people have actually sent it. Well, Pastor Smart got in first. You did not enter on time. Okay, so this message reads: the sole administrator is a proverbial man carrying an elephant meat on his head. Wow. And equally using his legs to scratch for periwinkles in the soil. Okay. I'm trying to picture it. It's a very strong man. He has plenty explanations and excuses as well as refutals ahead of the various unconventional and unconstitutional administration under his watch. Who is his Attorney General, Commissioner for Justice? Okay, that's from Concerned Listener. Even though the message came in this hour, you were responding to something from the previous hour. Annie from Port Harcourt, you give me the lyrics of that song. Thank you as well. Progress calls from Elele. Good evening, Progress. How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, yes. In attempt to answer your dumb question, let me start by saying that I think it's constitutional for the National Assembly to have invited the sole administrator, as we have mentioned, because and that is how it's supposed to be. The issue that led us to where we are, where the Assembly were inviting, giving 24 hours to the governor, and the governor refused to go. You remember? Having said that, the only problem I have, just like you have said, is on what ground with this National Assembly, since they have claimed that they have not been briefed, they have not been told, how will you now ask questions? Because there are things you needed to find out. How do you know that what the sole administrator is saying is not what he's supposed to say, since you have not been told? For me, I believe that thinking that the Assembly Committee could have waited until they are briefed, that it will not just be whatever the sole administration says, that is what it is carried. So that is what I think. I think that very, very soon, I hope that the emergency will be lifted and the government to sit.
Okay.
The Radio Council of Progress.
Thank you very much, Progress. Well, like I said earlier, at the time that report was published, sometime around noon today, that was the latest update. It's possible briefing has happened at this time, and, I today do. Maybe I was faster than my oversized shadow. Chima from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima.
Hello, Mr. Oracle.
Good evening.
Mr. Oracle, there is nothing implicating about this thing. These people have actually come to carry out the function of the state assembly.
Okay.
That's what they have come to do. Remember when your first speaker said, he said that ordinarily, according to how it's supposed to be, the assembly has the power to summon the executive. And that is why they are summoning the administrator. But meanwhile, these other persons are here now. The administrator is going to go to them by tomorrow, giving them a brief on how he has done. But after then, I don't think he's going to go back to them again, because these ones that are here now will checkmate him and carry out the functions. Remember, he has been doing some appointments, and nobody has been screening those persons. So that this now will be the work of this ad hoc committee that is here now in Rivers State. So what we need is a smooth sail in Rivers State. Thank you very much.
Hold on, Chima, hold on. Wouldn't it be better that the elected officials who were suspended in Rivers State are reinstated so that we can have our representation from Rivers State and not Abuja?
These people are there for just for 6 weeks, for 6 months now. They are on suspension. After if the Rivers State, the law and order that these people have come to do, maybe they happen to achieve it, then those other persons can be reinstated.
Yeah, but Chima, we don't. It doesn't have to take the entire 6 months. What if it is resolved in a month or two? Would that not be good?
That is where we are going to begin to pray for God to come in now. But if it is according to law, it has already taken place like 6 months.
Okay.
So if you want it to be less than that, then you begin to add prayer and fasting.
Okay, I've eaten today, so I can't fast today. Maybe tomorrow morning. I want it as quickly as today or tomorrow. I personal opinion, I'm a big fan of the people's will working. So if people voted for a governor and assembly members, it's usually better to not have an emergency rule to disrupt the mandate of the people. Mufasa from NTA Road. Hello, Mufasa.
Yeah, hi, Sam.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Evening.
Yeah, you see, if not that everything was done wrong from the get-go, the whole state of emergency, suspension, and all of that, if not that it was ill-conceived, I'm sure by now we'll not be having this discussion. Like you rightly said, the purpose given by the president for declaration of emergency is anchored on a breakdown of law and order. And the members of the House of Assembly, the National Assembly, my expectation would ordinarily be that when you come, you see that, one, the place is peaceful, there's no breakdown of law and order, the assembly quarters that the president said has been abandoned, you go and check and you see that the place is almost 80% complete. Then the best thing to do now is for the National Assembly member, like rightly said, to advocate for a return to a proper system of government in the state. Those elected officers that were suspended should be recalled back now that they've seen by themselves, for themselves, that everywhere is calm. There's no crisis. There is no breakdown of law and order. And every other reason given by the president for the pronouncement and all of that, they will now see that none of those things actually existed. So that would have been the expectation. But like I said before, because the pronouncement of the state of emergency and suspension was ill-conceived and a ploy to begin to plunge into the resources of the state, my brother, what you will see is them coming to now begin to negotiate sharing formula and all of those things. That is what you will get. Nothing more, nothing less. But if you want to do things rightly, now the way they come and see that everything is okay, what stops the governor from coming back to his office?
All right, Mufasa.
And every person suspended, resuming their work.
Thank you very much.
That would have been the ideal thing to do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, and you've made your point. I am hoping that the engagement between the assembly tomorrow and the sole administrator is not a closed-door meeting. Because usually when that happens, it means that the press will be told to please leave or not be allowed to enter in the first place. I hope that it will be broadcast. JJ from Port Harcourt Town. Hello, JJ.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sam, that you're hoping. I don't hope.
Why?
First and foremost, you should even know what we are to opt for right now. First and foremost, they said that we don't even know action. And Sam. Hello, Sam, are you still with me?
Yes, I am, but I couldn't hear you for a bit.
That they don't even know their function. The people have been inaugurated, though.
They don't know yet.
They don't know
yet.
Their function.
JJ, yet.
Yes, I'm listening.
They don't know it yet, meaning that they will know. No, it's important to clear that. They don't know it yet.
These are lawmakers, so I thought they have a section they quoted in the Constitution before that state of emergency was brought in and they shouting the high service. So what did the Constitution say? It's just like the case of defection, where they said any party that sponsors you for election, you leave the party and all those, you know what to do. Do you understand me?
Yeah, but JJ, this is an ad hoc committee, right? They were set up for this particular project.
But they are members of those who are party to the law making. They made law for us. Suddenly they don't know the law they made anymore. I don't get this whole thing now. Native doctor will want to give you money. It's very poor. Does it make any sense to you? So if the people who said they have made law that the president has quoted to impute punishment on Rivers people, and at the end of the day, they are telling you they don't know the law anymore, they don't know what to do, and you think one thing can come out from that thing, and that now they don't know what to do. None of them right now is at least less than 1 year. That's enough time to have learned the law and know what laws you're making for the people. So as far as I'm concerned, come in to tell the world that, we've been inaugurated for over how many hours now, and we don't even know what to do. It's an aberration. It shows a failure on their own part, and nothing good can come from them. But I hope they will speed up the process of returning democracy to Rivers State for the benefit of everyone, because the state is suffering from the same old thing right now.
All right.
No mistakes.
Thank you, JJ. No, I have no questions. Thank you very much. Samuel calls from Bonny. Good evening, Sam.
All right. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
All right. On the subject matter, I do not believe that the state of emergency in Rivers State was necessary from the beginning. The president was not prepared for it. I didn't think he was prepared. I think the ad hoc committee would have been formed immediately after that declaration. And upon the arrival of the administrator in Rivers State, I have not heard or seen any peace move that he has made. Instead, it has been appointment and reappointment. You know, forming the ad hoc committee again to operate from Abuja to oversee what he's doing here is neither here nor there. So I share the opinion and the thought that the governor of Rivers State should be reinstated and the House of Assembly members should resume work to attend to Rivers matters. And that is democracy for you. So there is no need going back and front, forming one committee to another, reporting what is not necessary. I'm not looking at it. In fact, you're a journalist. You can see that the state is simple. But instead of that, because of this state of emergency now, you can see the tension, protests and counter-protests going on in the state. It is not healthy for the state. The economy must move on. The governance must move on. But with the presence of military and civil administrators, I don't think we are getting it right. The president should kindly take his decisions and reinstate the Rivers State governor.
All right.
Okay, so that's my take on this.
Thank you very much, Sam. Justice from Ahoda. Good evening, Justice.
Yes, Sammy.
Good evening.
It's absolutely clear. There is no need beating about the bush. They should just call Tim back and Edison back. The other committee should look into that. That's what they're going to do, because they see that there is peace. Which peace are we looking for? Access for again? What kind of peace is that?
Oh my. Okay, I lost that call. I'm hoping that you can call back. I'll take messages and then get back to the phone lines. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Clever Sonny says they have collected money. Are you kidding me right now? Okay, allegedly, they've collected money from the FCT minister and nothing will come out. That's according to Clever Sonny. Dumo Fiala says nothing to expect from them as long as they're all rubber stamp rep members. If not, the situation, I'm rephrasing now, they planted has nothing to do with the democratic government. Since he came, nothing good is happening. Okay, just 2 messages. All right, let's see what's happening on WhatsApp. Remember that the question is, what are your expectations of the ad hoc committee? If you're wondering what committee I'm talking about, a 21-man member of the House of Reps, 21 ad hoc committee members have been set up. And they are to preside over the state of emergency. They've invited the sole administrator to join them tomorrow to tell them the state of things. Good evening. The inauguration is in order. It's better the briefing comes when the House Committee on River State is in place. But the emergency rule in the state is a cancer on the Constitution and a democratic aberration of highest order. Look at the death toll in Plateau and Benue. To me, it's a presidential rascality. Okoroma Godwin Chooks from Erema says on WhatsApp. Okay? And the next comment reads, there would not be any agenda by the committee considering that the chairman is an ally of the FCT minister. He'll always defend Wike's interest. Nothing more. Chika Onyegiri says. Sam, the danger here is that the sole administrator is dismantling all democratic structures put up by Fubara's government and replacing them with Wike's loyalists. The game plan is to strip him of his loyalists, and the House of Assembly will make laws that will not allow him remove those people, and he will become a toothless bulldog. By the time they finish removing his supporters, they will ask him to come back while they have taken control of the structure. That was the strategy of the emergency declaration. John from Port Harcourt says, okay, Daniel calls from Transamadi. Hello, Daniel.
Yes, Sammy, good evening.
Good evening.
For me, I think just your question, what is my expectation? Will I say that I have expectation? My expectation will just be theory, but in practical, I don't think we are going to have that in River State, which is trying to restore the River State House of Assembly back, and we have our governor back elected by the people. That is the idea into doing democracy. But unfortunately, it's just a theory that I say practical. It will not be so because politicians in Nigeria, they have one interest, just to make money, and that's just it. Because if you ask me, when you see some of these committees, facts are proving that some of these committees are just there to generate money for themselves. Because are they coming to make sure there will be a way that they will restore back the democratic elected people in River State? I don't think so. It looks like River State is an oil pipe, and everyone wants to key in to make it out before they have normalcy. And if that is the case, you can see that some of these committees under the pipeline, they want to take that oil. And that is exactly what it looks like. Because if a member of committee inaugurated, I listen to him, he say he don't even know why or whatever plan they have for now. So it's just a pity that we're in River State seeing all these things that is going on. At the end of the day, it is the masses and everybody that will lose. Okay. No matter whatever party you're supporting, because this individual, when they take the money, they won't give it to you.
All right.
And some of them are not even sure that are going to return back to power. In Nigeria, the only person that is very sure returning back to power, going by Nigeria electoral system, is the president. Even the governor is not too sure.
All right, Daniel.
So as of Assembly, I'm not too sure. When they see opportunity, they'll make it out, and it's unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Lawson from Yenagua. Good evening, Lawson.
Thank you so much, Sam. It's not far-fetched. We all saw it when Obasanjo declared the state of emergency in Plateau State and in Ekiti State. We saw how General Chris Ali was going to the... They invite him, he goes to the National Assembly and explains. Even General Adetunji Olurin, who was appointed sole administrator of Ekiti State, he was going... I remember one of the times, I don't know, he did something, and the House of Reps were not too happy, and they were questioning him. He was on national television and all that. So it's simple. They are just coming to perform an oversight function. It's just to oversight the activities of the administrator, just what the assembly members would have done. This is what we have been saying. When you bring an ant-infested firewood to your home, your compound, then be sure that you play host to lizards and birds. These are things that will be said, but the assembly and the governor kept fighting. They were fighting to a point where they didn't even know that they were headed for the rock. Nobody was listening. Nobody even tried to reason. And now this has happened. It is now some of them are not complaining, talking and all that. And of course, we know this country, when they say oversight, we all know what happens during oversight. We all know what will happen. So at the end of the day, it is still the same reverse money that will be paying. But all of the nobody, I don't know whether at the end of this, anybody will even learn any lesson. Oversight is not here. The money you are going to spend for that oversight, I don't want to say anything. We are on radio. I
Okay.
They should come together, the worried parties should quickly come together, see how they can settle results, and then take over their positions for the state to move on.
Okay.
From the look of this, from what's on ground, they don't even look like they want to settle.
Thank you, Lawson.
Not moving, assembly members are not moving. Well, I don't know. But for me, the earlier they do all of this, the better for the state and the better for all of them.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's do messages. Good afternoon, Oracle. River State is at a crossroads now that our dear state would be criminally compromised with strangers to come loot the state treasury in connivance with greedy persons. And it's fine by such people. It leaves much to be desired. Such people through Rivers Indigents. Let's think aloud. The sole administrator was appointed on the 18th of March. Since his arrival, no town hall meetings held with River stakeholders, no familiarization tours. Yet he reels out a list of questionable names for various appointments. Let's watch out in the very end. Sharing formula of the looted funds from our treasury would generate bitter quarrels and dissatisfaction among the greedy criminals. Or perhaps this might also be the last script of godfatherism in Rivers politics. It's all well and good. Jerry Michael from Eagle Island. Jerry, I get your point, but some details here are erroneous. The administrator did go on some tours and visits. I remember he had engagements with the Security Council. I remember he had engagements with traditional rulers. That happened in the first week. So, yes, I mean, you make very serious points, but no visits, no meetings, no engagements. That's not true. The president asked the sole administrator to report to the Federal Executive Council. Yes, that was it. But the National Assembly said no, he should report to us. We have constitutional power. I was trying to remember that. Thank you very much. According to National Assembly, no clear mandate or framework for oversight, but the administrator has taken River State already. I asked which framework was Ibas working with since there was no committee set up by the National Assembly since the 18th. That's Stan asking. Anyone or group who is endorsing the current president for the next election is trying to make sure our pain and suffering of incomplete 4 years of poor governance, making 8 years is like burying an already bad person, which way Nigeria. Onyenucheya Stephen. I've said this before. The fact that you are not okay with a particular administration does not mean the next person is. You'd be shocked at how many people are enjoying this administration. Shocked. The appointed sole administrators of local governments should immediately be dissolved now that we have lawmakers working with him. If they don't dissolve them, that means that they are working for the president. The Rivers people are watching. Ndu from Rivers. Monica says, what I think is that the allocation for 6 months is a lot of money, so the formula for spending must be fine-tuned. That's what you think they want to discuss tomorrow? The River Sole Administrator has no marking scheme, and not even the Federal House of Reps. He needs to depend on either the President or the FCT Minister who have been dictating tune. The House has fallen. The concerned listener says, I'm close to the end of this conversation. One call might just make it through. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Oracle.
Good evening. What's your name?
Yes, if you ask Mr. Joseph, I am calling you from Elena.
You have just over a minute. Please go ahead.
All right. If you ask me what I should expect from this committee that is set up, I will tell you that I expect nothing. All I see is an orphan. I see a state begging for help. I see a child that is crying for help. I see Rivers Money crying for help. Nothing to expect from this so-called suspension. That is...
You could literally hear the person in the background, and you know that the call ended because of that person. Okay, thank you very much. 3 minutes. Let's see. Oh, it's 2 minutes now. Okay, let's take some more messages. Awaneta West says, I do not expect anything good coming from the House of Reps ad hoc committee set up to monitor governance in River State. Let the reps reverse the state of emergency imposed on the state. That's from Awaneta Clinton West. Nothing new will happen. They are all there to support the illegality pinned on us by the president. They are on another voyage to make money. Sukari, the Joy Kramer man, says. Okay. The ad hoc committee wants to show the sole administrator things to do and persons to use to frustrate the governor. Frank Lekia Jude, you know what? I honestly hope that the revolution will be televised. And by that, I mean what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm hoping somebody can get the reference. Good morning, Mr. Andrew. By this time, text, is everything okay at home? You got the name of the presenter right and the greeting wrong. I mean, the name of the presenter wrong as well. The House of Reps ad hoc committee should have had all 13 Rivers reps, plus maybe 13 others from other states of the Federation to ensure all parts of Rivers State are represented in a way. But there's no good way to do a bad thing. That's why legislators do not know what provision of the law they are following. As they held an inaugural meeting, they are breaking new illegal grounds. Okay, that was fun the way he said it, new illegal grounds here in this venture. Imagine if this comment of ignorance was leaked by a member of the UK House of Commons or the US Congress. Even we here will be lambasting them, Tex says. I agree with you, Tex, on that. Michael says, call it oversight or anything. It's another... Okay, he used the word here where the best negotiators will grab the best of the goodies in the blessed land called River State. That's all I can take. Well, this is as far as we can go. Thanks for being a part of this conversation. We wrap up things now. The news comes up and other things follow. Stay with us.
Info. We'll be right back.